Hey, Grand Rising lineage, what's going on? This is your brother Chief Kalanago, man. Hope everybody's doing good. About to I already did the sun gazing, so here on the nature island, like I said, I'm in paradise right now. So I'm about to break my fast. So I'm just gonna show you what everything that came from the land. All right, so got watermelon, of course, you already seen the mangoes, um, soursop, star fruit, and jellies, right? So coconuts, you feel me? So I'm gonna start off with the star fruit. All right, got a lot of that star fruit, very sweet. You know what I mean? So just eat it, just the way it is. Okay, this right here is sweet. Tastes good. hmm That's life. Got that right from the garden, right? Well, over here I get the coconuts, but these I got that from the video I showed y'all yesterday from another part where we have land at. And then in another part where we have more land, I got the soursop, the melon we got right here, the mango we got right here, the star fruit, I got the star fruit on the land that we have the soursop. All right. So and we have this in abundance. In abundance. Yes, I. Right. Then I'm gonna do the star fruit first. This section is a little over right here, so I'm gonna cut that off. Hey, what's up, bro? Everything good? Yeah. So just gonna finish that up. I may have to go into the city with my brother, so let me just hurry up and do this. Mm, okay, so that's done. Then got the jelly right here. I already cut it off, so I'm just gonna put a hole in here, right? So this is the meat of the jelly right here, right? So I'll eat that later when I get back. But this is filled with electrolytes, right? So the natural water from the gods, you feel me? Mm, yes. Tell you, man, the Americas, the Garden of Eden. Don't let nobody fool you. Okay? Nowhere on earth, nowhere on earth you could find this, not even in Asia. In the Americas, that's the Garden of Eden. We fed the world when they were starving, when they were going through their farming, they came into the Americas to eat. Don't let history lie to y'all, man. That's why it's called his story. You feel me? All right, then. Oh, man. Mm. You can't compare this to a bottle of H2O, man. No, you can't. Nah, this is H320 right here. You dig? This is what this is. You drank your coconut? All right, cool. You know? So, yeah. Now, this is the water right here. I'm having some of the sauce up. Yep. See that? All right then. Okay. Hmm. See the seeds? Fruits with seeds. So we're supposed to be eaten, right? That soursop. Hey, bro, the soursop is ripe, man. It's sweet.
So it's not sour, it's sweet.
I mean, sweet sop. Pardon me. Sweet sop, not soursop. But I grew up calling it soursop, bro.
There's also there's sweet.
Oh, so this is the sweet sop.
There's a sour one, there's a sweet one, so that's a sweet.
Oh, so I'm doing the sweet one. Pardon me. And there's the sour one. You see? I've been away too long, right? Hmm. So that's the sweet sop. The sour sop is the other one, the one that's sour. Well, duh. Hey, brother Robert, what's up, bro? What's good? Hmm. See the seeds? Put that back in the ground, and boom, Mother Nature feeds us again. You see what I'm saying? That's how we lived in the Americas until these black devils came here. Okay, this was our life. This is our life, and I want to introduce my people back to that again. It doesn't matter where you are in the Americas. This is your home, but we got to unite. You feel me? We can't continue to separate and divide ourselves. You feel me? Because when we're divided, man, we're too weak. All right. So I'm teaching and preaching unification. That's what this is about. All right. And the soursop leaves, another major health benefit. Right? Major health benefit. And this is like the bone of the inside of the soursop. This is the bone. Even the bone got its own health benefit. So I eat the bone. Right? There you go. The seeds we're gonna put back in the ground. All right. Can you imagine one seed in the ground will feed you for life? You feel me? If they close all the corner stores, if they close all the supermarkets, how are we gonna feed ourselves? Right? See, we got to go back to nature. I would say 98 to 99% of my food that I eat is raw. Yesterday I had some fried plantains, because I love plantains, right? Whether it's cooked or fried, right? But I would say about 95 to 98% of my food is raw. Okay. So no matter what happens, it will be easy for me to eat. All right. I'm not even gonna do the melon because I'm already filled. All right. So I had coconut water. I had sweet sop. All right. I had the star fruit. Then I'm gonna do the mango. This melon right here, I can't eat that. I'm good. So that's gonna take me all throughout the afternoon, right? So mangoes, boom. And just cut this off right here. I've had this mango for a couple of days. I mean, there's so many under the tree, man. They're just going to waste. So all right. See the juice falling out that mango? Mm. H320. 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 All right. Got all the electrolytes that we need. I normally eat the skin too, but like I said, I'm filled right now, so I don't want to overdo it. And the seeds, just throw it anywhere. It grows. Okay. So, mm, that's it. I'm done. See the mouth? And listen, let me give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Yeah, it was good, man. So like I said, I'm about to go to the city with my brother. So but this sweet sop seeds, I'm gonna take them and find a good spot for them. I'm gonna put it in the ground and the mangoes, of course, throw the mango seed wherever it's gonna grow. That's the jelly, the meat and the coconut. I'm gonna cut when I come back from the city. I'm gonna eat that. All right, so I'm gonna eat that, some of that for lunch. I have some watercress. I have some cucumbers straight from the land. All right, remember, watercress is one of the most amazing what we call, I would say watercress is it's a vegetable, right? I think it is, or it's what is it? But anyway, whatever it is, you classify the watercress as it's one of the in the family of those, you know, those plants or whatever you want to call it. Watercress is one of the highest in alkaline. Okay. I don't label myself. I don't label myself. I just don't eat meat. You know what I mean? So I just don't eat meat. Okay. Hey, what up, Comanche? I don't eat meat. I don't label myself. You feel me? I just don't eat meat. Strictly fruits and vegetables. Like I said, I'd stop eating fish, but while I'm down here in Dominica, because the fish is different, I may have some. You know, I may smoke some fish, but that's about it. But I just don't label myself. You know what I mean? So like I said, 95% of what I eat is literally, you know, raw, straight from the land. Even if I'm in the United States, I do the same thing. The only difference is I have to pay for everything. Down here, it's on our land. Like we got so much land, not just here, but all these different videos I'm showing, that's our land. You know what I mean? So I could go anywhere and eat. You feel me? So that's about it. But I'm gonna cut the jelly later so I can eat that later. You know what I mean? But for lunch, or when I feel like eating, really, I don't want to call it lunch, you know what I mean? Because I don't want to put myself in a box making you think I do breakfast and then lunch, dinner. I don't do that. I just eat when my body's hungry. So when I feel hungry again, I'm gonna do watercress. I'm gonna do cucumbers. So all that stuff again is high in H320. Watermelon has, I would say, about almost 17 to 20 different essential nutrients that our body needs. It's literally up there to give the body what's called an alkaline pH level. Because most medical doctors, all right, pharmaceuticals, they'll tell you that our pH, what you call it, our alkaline pH level should be at 7, but no, it should be at 14 and higher because we are alkaline beings. So the foods that we eat is making our body acidic, and because of the acid, it creates mucus, and an overbuild of the mucus is what causes the disease. You see, it's not the mucus itself, but the overbuild of the mucus. Yes, go ahead, bro. Yeah, my brother wants some of this sweet stuff right here. But I'm gonna share it with him because I'm not a selfish dude. You want the knife too? All right, go do your thing. All right, but it's sweet, man. But you know what? Growing up, bro, I always call this soursop, bro.
People just say source of oil, but then the thing about it is There's a sweet one and a sour. So when you get the sweet, you see the sweet sound.
So I guess I never had the sour one. I never had the sour one.
There's a sour one.
Oh yeah? Okay, I never had that. Okay. All right, but anyway, just explaining that to you. So our body is literally alkaline, right? So we have to create an alkaline atmosphere in our body so our body could stay healthy. You feel me? The moment it start getting acidic, then obviously, our body could process certain acidic foods to a certain extent, right? But once it gets too acidic, then the body could no longer fight it, right? Yeah, cool. And the body could no longer fight it. You see what I'm saying? And then that's when it start creating those diseases in the body. But anytime you want to remedy yourself, you want to heal your body, just start eating alkaline. The body will heal itself. All right? You feel me? I appreciate that, brother Comanche. No doubt, man. Yeah. You know, I tell people, I don't make things complicated, right? The way my ancestors teach me, and they teach me in dreams and visions, and the way they teach me, they bring in the information to me real simple, where it's not complicated. I don't have to speak in parables. You see what I'm saying? Whether it's about the Bible, whether it's about law, whether it's about our history. Like even right here on the island of Dominica, okay, they have the people that's in the reserves. Like you see how they have the reservations in the United States. They got the reserves here. You feel me? And the people on the reserves, more than half of them, over 90% of them look like Mexicans, the current Mexicans. You see what I'm saying? I'm telling you, those are the Caribs, but they are not. They are not. The Caribs and those people look just like us. But once again, the same thing they did in the islands, they did it in the United States because they did it in the islands first. So they create what's called a reservation, but down here they call it a reserve. You see me? You feel me? Well, I appreciate that, brother, and it's good to know that, I know people, appreciate the knowledge that I bring, and it's all good. I tell people, you know what, I'm not looking for accolades, I'm not looking for none of that. I'm just here to teach and bring the information. But when people recognize that, it's a beautiful thing, you dig? So with that being said, let me just break this down a little bit for y'all, right? So with that being said, give me 1 second, all right? So with that being said, you feel me? They have what's called the Carib Reserve down here. And the same thing that's in the United States, right? They put a section, okay, of the land as a reservation, and they got this Caribs, on the reservation looking like Mexicans. You feel me? And telling us, well, those are the Caribs. Those are the indigenous people. No, these people are mestizos. They are mestizos. Make no mistake. All the original people in the Americas were people that look like us. Of course, we had some light skin, but the majority of them, because we are a tropical people, the majority of them had dark skin. Okay, the majority of them had dark skin. And what a lot of my brothers and sisters in the United States don't realize is that a lot of our ancestors are actually from the South, South America. You feel me? Our people did not live in New York. Our people did not, and I'm going to explain to you what I mean by this, all right? Our people did not live in New York. Our people did not live in what you call Chicago all the time. Boston, all the cold places was seasonal for our people. They only moved there when it was summertime. Some of them stayed during the winter, but no, they did exactly what the birds did, right? When it got cold, they moved down south. Our people were very connected to nature. And I'm not just talking about down south in the United States. I'm talking about South America. Our people went all over the Americas. It's only this new so-called awakened aborigines want to separate our people. I don't play that because I know our true story. I know our story, not his story, but I know our story, which is the mystery. That's what mystery is. Mystery means my story. You feel me? So within his story, I found my story, which is the mystery. I solved it because it was given to me in dreams and visions, but I just couldn't put the pieces together until my ancestors gave it to me. You dig what I'm saying? So I'm asking my brothers and sisters in the US, man, let us stop separating ourselves. You feel me? Because it's divide and conquer. All this is still yours. It is still yours. I cannot tell you, well, because I was born in Dominica and you was born in Chicago or you was born in North Carolina, this ain't yours. I can't tell you that because for me to tell you that, that would be doing a disservice to my ancestors because your ancestor is my ancestor. You feel me? America is our mother. This is our motherland. You dig? So the whole illusion that the original people are not us, again, it's an illusion. So they have these people that look like Mexicans telling you that they're the original people. No. Okay. Here's a synopsis of it all. The people who came here in 1492, like I've been teaching and showing the proof, are people who look just like us, right? Those were the Moors, and those were what you call the Sephardic Jews. They came, we broke bread with them, right? And ultimately, they were trying to take our land. They mixed with our women. So the truth is, you're an American Aborigine. Why? Because we had a matriarchal system. What does that mean? It means that the inheritance was passed down through the woman. In Europe, okay, and Africa, the heritage was passed down. Well, in Africa, first it was through the mother. But when these black devils, they colonized Africa, okay, they started passing the lineage through the father. And the Americas was supposed to be the last place they had to indoctrinate. Why? Because the Americas was first. America was first. Okay? America was first, so we had to be the last. All right? So with that being said, when they came here in 1492, it were people who looked just like us. So they came and broke bread with us. All right? And then they started taking land, marrying our women, came back, set up shop, they learned our indigenous dialects, and they came back, right? And that's when the war started. They started enslaving our people from 1493, 94, all the way up to the early 1600s. All right? And then they started, then the conversation was, all right, we cannot enslave these Indians because, you know, they are people in God, they are gentle people, whatever the case is. So Ferdinand, Isabella, and one of the popes, they came up with a decree that said that they cannot enslave the Indians because why? The Indians are men. They are people. Okay, so we are going to bring Caucasians, which are the pale people. So they brought the pale people into the West Indies, all right, not even yet into the Americas, into the West Indies to enslave them. Okay, all right. So with that being said, it's to enslave them. Okay, so but then the pale people started dying out. So what they started doing, they started bringing their mulatto children. Even this before they start bringing other children, and that's how the mix start coming in with the mestizos. So the people who call themselves Mexicans, they are not Mexicans, they are Spaniards, and that's the same thing they did in the islands. You feel me? So when I tell people, people always want to hear hating. Let me tell you something. My people were literally the first people that were called West Indians, West Indies Americans. All right, I'm a real original American. You dig? So you have a lot of people hating. I don't know why y'all hating, but all of y'all that was talking, oh, well, chief from Nigeria, chief from Africa. Go ahead and say that now. Go ahead and say it now. See where I'm at? The land that I was born. I'm proud to be born in Dominica, but my ancestors sent me to the United States to educate my people and teach my people. Those are my brothers and sisters. You feel me? So with that being said, y'all could hate as much as you want. I'm going to continue to do what they want me to do and what they sent me here to do. And that's what I'm going to do because a lot of you are blinded by the truth and not realizing that even those of you in the United States, a lot of your ancestors came from the West Indies and you don't even know that. You don't even, I'm talking about like literally, you even if you go back into the 1700s, into the 1600s and you find your grandparents and your great-great-grandparents in the United States, go further back. And I promise you, you're going to find the majority of them in South America and in the West Indies. I promise you that. Why? Because we were a tropical people. We were a tropical people. The most fertile lands in the Americas is in the Caribbean. Okay? It's in the Caribbean, South America, the most fertile land. So when these people came, they saw Garden of Eden. Listen, look, let me show you something right here. You see this right here, the ocean down there? The ocean water I was literally bathing in? That's the Atlantic Ocean. So when you're talking about Atlantis, all this was part of Atlantis. So that's in my blood. So when I keep telling y'all, man, I know who I am, man, don't play games with me, man. Y'all better put some respect on the king's name. I keep telling y'all, stop playing. All right? Stop playing. Man, I had this in a beautiful position. What happened now? Brother asked, did Mexicans had half of the lands of nowadays Mexico? No. The only land that the so-called Mexico had was actually California. All right, now a little more inland, but more so California. okay, California. But all this, remember, the original Mexicans were people who look just like us. The people they call Mexicans today are Spaniards. They are not Mexicans, they are Spaniards. Just like how you have the original Filipinos. The original Filipinos are people who look just like us. They call them Negrito. All right. What they did was they went all over this indigenous land and called people who look like us. They called us Negroes, or in the form in like in a woman's case they call her a Negrita. Okay, but the male is the Negrito, and then the female is the Negrita or the Negrites. Okay, that means like a female Negro. You see what I'm saying? So when they came into the West Indies, they called us the Negro de Terra, meaning that the Negroes of the land, and then they called the Africans the Negros de Guinea, which is the Negroes of the land on the other side. So what are they telling you? They're telling you that there were two sets of so-called Negroes. And like I tell people, the only place in Africa that was called Africa was Tunisia. All right. And the reason why they call it Africa is because Africa means a worker. That's what African means, to work. So therefore, anytime they call you an African, it meant that you were a worker, and they assigned or they coined the term black to Africa. So therefore, a worker, that's a slave, because black means slave. You feel me? So I tell people, I'm not black because I'm not, obviously. You see my skin color? I'm not black. You feel me? So even the people you see that look black, they are not black. They are a deep brown. People are different shades of brown. You don't have different shades of black. Black is black, but you have different shades of brown. Okay? So we are the copper colored, chocolate, cinnamon, ruddy people. Not just in the Americas. They were all over. You feel me? But specifically, that's what they called us, because we were not slaves. And that's why they called the Africans black, because why? They were the first workers. And I'm saying workers because that's what Africa means. I'm not saying worker because a slave was not a worker. A worker was not a slave. The first slaves were the Slavs. All right? That's where the word slave came from the word Slav. But when we're talking about worker as an indentured worker, that was the African. All right? That was the African. And because of more colonization, okay, they created more workers, okay, and they eventually started naming the entire continent Africa. And that's how the entire continent of Africa became to be known as Africa, because why? The majority of the continent started working for the colonizers. Now, the colonizers at that point were still people of color. It wasn't until the late, well, earlier, it was earlier in Africa, where in the 1700s, and in the 1700s where the pale man started infiltrating, because they were working for their so-called black devils, their black fathers. But in the United States, it wasn't until the 1800s the pale man started getting power. Don't let nobody fool you. The pale man did not enslave anybody. The pale man just took over the game. And I've already explained that to y'all. All right. It's like a drug dealer on a corner, right? He set up shop, and his drug game is booming. He making millions. And then he had children with a pale woman. And then the children came and took over. And then their children had children with more pale people. The children became lighter and lighter. And then eventually they took over. That's how the game happened. The pale man wasn't the one who came and enslaved nobody. Y'all giving this pale man too much power, man. Talking about white America. What you mean white America? America was never white. And America will never be right. It'll never be white. Okay? So we got to stop calling these people white. They are not white. White is a classification, and white means a freedman. Okay? It means a freedman. So when you go back into your genealogy and your history, and you see they start talking about the freedmen, they were not talking about people that were necessarily enslaved and became free. They're talking about that people from Europe that came here with a status of being white, even if they were people of color, because white men meant freedmen. So you had the freedmen, and you had the American Indians, and then you had the so-called blacks, which was literally black meant a slave, not necessarily from Africa, but a slave. Our people were still being called Indians all the way up until the Indian Citizen Act of 1924. We were still being called Indians. But the United States say, you know what? All right, cool. We're going to make all Indians born in the United States, we're going to make them citizens. And that happened in the Indian Citizen Act of 1924. And even after that, our people were still calling themselves Indians, but they could not go into the hospitals and give the women could not give their children Indian names because they would threaten them. We're going to take your child, or we're going to send you to jail, or we're going to enslave you, right? So they had to give them regular names. It wasn't the name of the pale man. Those names were so-called black devils from Europe. Okay, those were their names. All right. So when people don't know the chronology of what happened in the Americas and in Europe, then they're going based on his story. But I studied the story of Europe, and I know it was impossible for all these slaves to come from Africa because I knew what was going on in Europe at that time. When you go look at the history of Europe, you will see that they were going through the Black Death. The Black Death killed literally almost 100 million Europeans, not just Caucasians. When people hear European, they always think of pale people. No. The original Europeans are people of color. Okay? These pale people literally just came onto the earth less than 10,000 years ago. And that's facts. That's scientifically and geologically proven. Even they themselves tell you they're not from this planet. But the truth of the matter is none of us from this planet. But the point I'm making is they are newcomers. All right, they are newcomers. Now, it's nothing against our pale brothers and sisters. It ain't got nothing to do with that. Truth is truth. This is not about discrimination. It's not about hate. It's just giving you the truth about the story. All right. So the pale people, they did come from the original human, which is Hueman. But they did not come from us in the Americas. They came from the so-called Black Asiatics. Because the Black Asiatics were the ones they came from. And then the Black Asiatics, all right, they what they call DNA splicing. Through then DNA splicing, all right, then you had the East Indians. Okay, now the East Indians, even if they are human, okay, with the texture of the skin, which is Hueman, meaning that they have color like us, but with the hair, that's how you know the difference. They are 8 ether being, meaning that that's when the mixing of the beast. Okay, so that was the mixing with them. So now you have the 8 ether here, which are the East Indians. Then you had the Asians. Now Asians are still humans, Hueman, but they are a lesser version of that, closer to the Human, which is the final breeding of not the Caucasian, but the pale race. And then the pale race, which is the Caucasian, from them, the last bred of them was called the Aryan race, which is the pure so-called white people, but they're not white. All right. So just wanted to give you guys a little bit of history about that. And I'm about to get out of here because I think I might have to go to the city, but just wanted to come give you guys a little, do a little video, man, and a quick little build. All right. So I love y'all. I may do another live today. I don't know. It depends on what's going on. Right. But we'll talk soon, man. So always remember that, man. Eat to, not eat to live, but live to eat. All right. So we got to start giving up these meats. I'm going to do a video about rice. Okay. Rice is not good for us to eat. So we got to stop eating that as well. You feel me? That's killing us. We got to stop eating that. So I'll do a video on certain foods, but I'm certainly sure there's a lot on it. That's not my specialty. I know the knowledge, but that's not what I teach about. You feel me? But I'll drop some knowledge on the rice. So I'm going to talk to y'all later. All right. One love.
You say